let's just jump into it.
Yeah.
How bad is COVID right now, and what's going on? Because I
Mhm.
actually recently had a notification on my phone where there was a school district. I don't remember what like city or state it was in, but they were starting to recommend that kids start masking up again at school.
Yeah, so unfortunately, what's happened is COVID's not gone. We're hoping that it would disappear. We're not necessarily in a pandemic state anymore, which is good, but it's still prevalent. It's still here, and like we've known from the beginning, COVID has many variants, and so we're now experiencing a new variant. So it's like we went through the OG, and then we went to the Delta, and then we now went to the Omicron, but now we're dealing with variants of the Omicron. So now I think we're up to variant XBB 1.5. Sounds like something from Star Wars, but it's the new variant.
It's all
Um, yeah,
futuristic
it's just
and
super
everything.
futuristic, like teched out variant. But yeah, that's the new variant. And the thing about it, what we've seen with this variant is kicked off real quick. A couple weeks ago, it was down to like the 5% numbers. Now it's up into the 25 to 35% numbers as far as prevalence as of
It's
all.
giving Delta.
Yeah, it's smashing everything, and so that's a concern because it's why. And so what they found is the why is that it has a lot more mutations. And remember, let's keep it basic. So when you say mutations, we just say there's structural differences between this virus particle and the others that make it so that it's more able to kind of bob and weave in through your immune system and infect you. Now, the good thing is there's a difference between infection and disease.
Mhm.
So its infectivity is pretty high, meaning a lot of people are getting it, and that's why we're seeing that up curve of infections. But we're not seeing a lot of hospitalizations or people being really really sick because as far as disease, it's not providing severe disease like we saw in the OG forms. But
Mhm.
it still means that you're going to get sick. You might be out the game for 5 days, quarantined, and all that good stuff. But do recall, typically what happens is you get exposed. 5 days later is when you start becoming infectious. You're really infectious for the 2 days before you start getting symptoms. Once you get those symptoms, now you're still able to, pass it on to people for another 3 to 5 days. So you got to think that's a long window of time right there.
Mhm.
So,
And
unf-
that's a lot of people that you can be around in 3 to
right,
5 days. Like, if
right,
I go to my job and say I'm around my coworkers, and I can only have to see like 3 or 4 coworkers, but those coworkers, like, I don't
yep,
have kids, but they have kids. So
yep.
then they go home to their kids, and then their kids go to school, and then their kids pass it around to everyone at school, and then everyone at
Now we
school
having a party.
passes it around some more. So it just ends up being a whole situation.
Yep, now we have a party. And the thing is, and what I've really seen, especially in just doing primary care practice, is and it's not a fault that I'm throwing out here, but a lot of people are really underestimating their symptoms and not
Mm.
realizing that COVID's out here. So I get a lot of, oh, I thought it was allergy symptoms. Oh, I just had a runny nose. I just thought, oh, it was just something I picked up from someone. And I try to let people know, listen, COVID takes a lot of different faces, and so that stuffy nose could be COVID. So you really got to be on top of that. I think that's going to help us really truly get through this. Is people just remembering the basics. If you feel like you're getting sick, check for COVID. Now the thing is, this year it's been crazy because we got COVID, we got the flu, we got RSV, we
Mhm.
got all the just a simple cold. So I'm seeing all these things uptick this year, and so that's it's all out there, right? But we do know COVID and how effective it is and what it can cause and the issues. So it's always good to just in the back of your mind say, you know what, let me COVID check, just to make sure that's not what this is.
Real quick, for this new variant, does
Mhm.
it have any specific symptoms that people should be looking for?
No, it's pretty much giving us the same thing. You're getting sick. 1 to 2 days. You're infectious 1 to 2 days before you're getting sick, and about 2 to 3 days after. But you're getting the same kind of symptoms. The stuffy nose, runny nose, headache. It's kind of running the gambit. Not a lot of big time respiratory stuff with this one, but you're still having some people that are getting some respiratory compromise. But the key is it's not giving us a severe disease. It's more infectious, meaning it's more chances they're going to pick it up. But as far as like disease severity, meaning hospitalizations, having to go to ER and things of that nature, it's not as bad, which is good.